Hello Year 5 and 6 and welcome to your next English writing lesson. Remember, we are focusing today on writing about the professor's ordeal due to Manfred. Today we're going to be focusing on these words. Do you recognise them? Hopefully you do, and they are prepositions. The key word there, positions, which means we're going to be telling the reader where or when something is in relation to something else. Here we've got the first part of the professor's journey, where I'm going to look at this picture and can I use prepositions to describe this picture and where things are. So here I can see there's henchmen are balancing carefully on top of a bike. Motorbike? Let's go a bit fancier. And then we've also got Manfred, who's climbing, balancing. I don't want to use on again. Above them, I can say that he's above them. That's saying where he is as well. Let's see what we came up with earlier. The henchman balanced carefully on top of the motorbike. So clearly it's on top. That's telling you where it is. Manfred climbed into the window, so he's going into it. So every single time it's saying where they are. A lot better than what I came up with a moment ago. So we're going to now be practicing this skill, describing the setting as the professor travels. And here I can see the mansion, but he's travelling all the way up to this turret here. So I know a really good way of planning setting descriptions is to draw the journey. And then I can put on there exactly what I can see. I'm going to do my senses first and what the professor can see on his journey. So I've got, here's my turret. And then here, he'd be able to see the mansion. Sorry that you're just seeing the back of me and my horrendous drawing, but it's the best I can do. I'm trying my best. He could also be seeing the moon. What else can he see? Is it bushes, rocks along the path? So I've got, maybe there's some bushes here as well, so I can do some fancier. As we know, artistry is not my forte. Okay, so we're thinking about the description, what he can see. There's my lovely plan over on the whiteboard. Oh, I've done that. Yeah, I can see this picture. I like having this picture here in more detail because it means I can add more details to my plan now. And I know a really good way of writing a setting description is also to get those adjectives and expanded noun phrases in to describe things. So, what have we got here? It's very, stones, it's like, is it concrete stone? Twisted. I'm going to go for twisted stone for the moment to describe it. We've got pointed turrets. Oh, but it's pointed a bit obvious because we know turrets are pointed. They've got a flag on top of them. Turrets with flags on. So I've got my with to describe with flags. I can describe the moon, it's glistening. Glistening moon. What else can I see? What else would I might want? Adjectives. How could I describe the actual mansion where Manfred lives? It's quite majestic, it's filled with houses. Majestic mansion. Okay, so here I've got my adjectives to describe the things as he sees them. And what I want to now think about is the prepositions, where they are. I know you're going to come up with a lot more creative ideas than I can. I think I've already done this one. The prepositions I could use. So I could say that how the moon is above him. It's above him in the sky. Above. It's in the sky. A bit obvious, but I'm still going to put it down there because I might want to use it later. I might miss it out though. Excuse my really poor handwriting. I've not got nice handwriting like Miss Heath. Put that the mansion surrounded by, next to many houses, next to, I like surrounded. I like besides many houses. Many more, many, I want to say this is really magnificent, so maybe many insignificant houses, they're not as interesting. Insignificant. So I'm just laying up any ideas that come to my mind at the moment about what he would see and where they are. There's prepositions. The turret, it's up high, so that's where it is, it's up high. So I'm just putting up all my, oh that's really bad, I'm going to start that again, up high. Keep adding more and more detail as I see them. So we've got here that these rocks are beside the long winding path. Beside the long, I keep looking back at my picture for more ideas. The long winding path. I'm trying to think how I could say where the trees were without just copying beside trees and bushes. Oh, I like, you know what, actually, I'm going to say here as well for the mansion. The mansion, they're heading here, but they can just see the mansion in the distance. In the distance. It's a bit, you can't see it as clear from where he's travelling on the bike. In the distance. So I'm slowly adding more and more details, trying to say where they are with those prepositions. Up, beside, next to. It's really important to get those key words in because it's going to make it really easy now when we come to do our actual writing. So I've got my map, I know where the professor's starting. Here's my bike. And you know, again, very artistic. And he's going to be travelling along this pathway up to the turret, but he's going to see these other things as he's travelling. So I'm going to now have a go at writing this. I need a little whiteboard.
Sorry, Miss Forster, I should be your glamorous assistant. Tell you what, year 5 and 6, this is a good point to do our Easter egg for today's video. If you are watching really carefully at this point, what fruit can you see at the top of that whiteboard? What fruit can you see? Add it to your comment when you submit your work. What do you think it is? All right, Miss Forster.
So I'm going to start the narrative just as he's leaving the town. I'm going to call it a town. So I'm going to say, and then I'm going to just say where he's approaching, and then you can carry on with your own even more impressive plans. So he's leaving the town. So as Manfred, as the journey carried on, as time passed.
I like that.
As time passed. Capital to start my sentence. This is an as conjunction. It's a subordinate clause sentence. I need my comma to separate my two ideas. As time passed. I'm checking now, is this the correct spelling? I'm not even sure, so I'm going to just dot it. As time passed, comma. Manfred, the professor. Is it a capital P for professor or not?
Only for the names, so we can do lowercase p for this.
Yes. The professor. I'm trying to do neater handwriting this time, really.
It's very nice, Miss Forster. I'm very
As
impressed.
time passes, the professor realised or saw the town disappearing.
Noticed
Ooh, trying to think of those really.
that he could no longer see the familiar sights of his hometown. Do you like it?
It's a bit too fancy for my
Is
liking.
it?
But I think it's now what the year 5s and 6s to be writing. So, as time passes, the professor noticed. I can't remember what you said now.
He could no longer see.
He could no longer see the
Familiar sights of home. Oh, poor professor.
I'm feeling very sorry for him already. Remember, we want to give this story making us feel sorry for the professor. We want that empathy. Sights of home. Okay, he's approaching. I really want to get that preposition there. I want to say where things are. Following the long winding path. All he could see was, I want to describe these rocks in a interesting, just say it's quite barren and there's nothing else but rocks you can see at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to get my first opening, following the long winding path. This is remember, we don't want to start every sentence with the, so we want to try and get those different I space openers in. Following the long winding path. He wondered where he was going. Because he doesn't know yet. He just knows he's been kidnapped. Where was he going? Remember, third person all the time, year 5 and 6, where he was.
Oh, year 6, you could even use the passive and say he wondered where he was being taken.
Ooh.
If you're feeling really year 6-y.
Being, taken. I don't want to keep saying all he could see or things. I want to think about how I can keep this really inviting. There were
Rocks scattered along the path.
Oh, like along, yes,
Oh,
so the
thanks.
side, yeah. So we want to now get those prepositions to describe it. There were many rocks scattered along, let's get my preposition in, scattered along the path. Scattered along the path. As time passed, the professor noticed he could no longer see the familiar sights of home. Following the long winding path, he wondered where he was being taken. There were many rocks scattered along the path. Path, should I change the word? I want to get it really boring. Path, road.
Track.
Track, along the track. I'm going to leave mine next. I don't want you just to now copy mine whole piece. So I'm giving you the start with one preposition. Remember, not every sentence needs a preposition. Just a few here and there. We want to keep it a big variety to keep our readers interested in our text. You might want some short sentences there for impact as well. But we're expecting at least 3
Yeah.
At least 3 sentences with prepositions. Ideally, even more.
Yeah, lots of description. Lovely.
Lots of detail, lots of adjectives, expanded noun phrases. Remember, I space opens, get that really interesting vocabulary in there. And don't forget, when you submit your work, the Easter egg word, which we're not going to tell you again, because you might just skip to the end of this video every time. Bye, year 5 and 6.
Bye, year 5 and 6.